Today we're making a smoked grouper fumet. Fumet is just a fancy way of saying stock, and we're smoking it to make it even fancier. First thing we want to do, pop this head right off. Flip it over and one more good smack. Now you can just twist backwards and it slides right out. We got our skeleton. You can see these large pockets right here on the spine. Those are filled with collagen and it's gonna make it great stock. Next up, we're gonna remove the gills, puncture that membrane, slide right underneath the lip. We'll move these collars just to get them out of our way. Be careful, these gills are sharp. Now that we've got it separated from the base, start twisting and they'll start popping right out. There we go. Got the gills out, and like I told you, they're sharp. Up next, we're gonna split the head. That way it doesn't take 20 years to smoke. Now that we've got our grouper head nice and flattened out, we're gonna give it a little rinse off, take off some of that slime. Little gardening hose water, never hurt anybody. I needed a little bit of extra chlorine to clean out my inside, so this is gonna work great. All right, we've got our head in there, our skeleton in there, throw our collars in there. Today we're cooking on our recteq 1100. We're gonna put it down to 180. We want a nice low smoke. We like doing 180 until just before it's cooked all the way through, then cranking it up to a higher temperature to sear the outside a little bit. But because we're gonna be making a fumet out of this, we're not even gonna do that. We're just gonna do 180 just until it's cooked all the way through. Today, we're using recteq's Ultimate Blend. It's red oak, white oak, and hickory. It's perfect for smoking fish. All right, you guys, it's been 3 hours at 180. That is absolutely plenty because we are still going to pressure cook this to turn it into a fumet. Let's pull it off and check it out. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna take them off these racks, put them into bags, and we are good to go. Look at that. All right, we got these food safe bags. We're intentionally not breaking this spine because we don't want to release any of that gelatin until we get ready to make that fumet. And we intentionally cook this without any seasoning at all because we're leaving that up to Chef Luke. Chef Luke is an award-winning chef and I can't wait to see what he does with this fumet. Can you explain to us what the difference between a fish stock and a fumet is, other than the word?
Yeah, so fish fumet is just a French word for fish stock. That's all that it is.
So what he's saying is, when you're dining out at a restaurant, the way to make the dish go from 20 bucks to 40 bucks is fumet instead of stock.
That's it. That's exactly it. So yeah, let's get started. Let's go with our shallot first. So we just want to get it really fine. That way, you know, it's only simmering for about 15 minutes. So you want to get the maximum flavor without, you know, getting it overdone. Put a little olive oil here. Start it off here. 2 or 3 garlic.
I love it when I have guests over and they tell me how good everything smells in the house, and all I've done so far is saute onions and garlic.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain to me what the point of peeling a carrot is?
The skin actually, I mean, when you simmer it, you know, it has a little bit of bitter notes from the skin. Eliminate the bitterness.
Okay.
And go for like the sweetness of the carrot, really. So that's it, real thin. A little dry there. Let's stir that up.
So when a lot of people, when they make a stock, they leave the vegetables like very big and chunky. You're chopping yours up. Is there a reason?
Yeah, so
one
I mean,
versus another?
Yeah, I mean, if you, with like larger pieces, you would do with meat. So like if I'm gonna do like a beef short rib or like I said, a lamb shank, you would want them bigger because those pieces of meat are very, you know, strong. They're stronger pieces of meat, where a fish is more delicate. So you want to actually make it smaller so that way it kind of just breaks down with the fish. So here we go, we got some leeks. So what I'm gonna do now is take some of this lemongrass, kind of like wind it up a little bit. We're gonna take the back of the cleaver and just bang it a little bit. That gets all those like essential oils out.
Oh, that smells so good. I love that you said essential oil because it really does smell like, smells like essential oils.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think with fish, you know, working with these ingredients like ginger and, you know, lemongrass, It's just so, it complements the fish, and especially with the smokiness from the bones, it's gonna be really a knockout dish, I think.
I've made countless fish stocks. I've never done a smoked fish stock, so I'm stoked to see how this comes out.
So we're just gonna do the ginger right here. Just real small. Okay. All right, so now we got all these nice aromatics, you know, really permeating the whole room, right?
Yeah, the whole room smells so good already.
So what I do now is just a little bit of chili flakes, not too much, right here. Okay. Stir this around. All right, now we're gonna get into some fish here. So obviously this is a beautiful bounty of fish right here. We're not gonna, you know, fill it all the way up, but we're just gonna get what we need.
Well, see how much you can fit in there.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think, start with the...
Smoked for hours on our recteq, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. I'm gonna see, because there's a lot of collagen in here. Maybe what I'm gonna do is just... The head is it's pretty strong, huh? So let's just break it down. Maybe just will fit pretty well in there.
I believe in us. Look at that.
Okay. Yeah, so all this is like slowly gonna be, you know,
Smoked jello shots.
going into the stock, you know, or the fumet. So what we're gonna do now, just add a little bit of white wine. This is just a Spanish dry, you know, summer drinking wine. So a little bit of that.
Oh, there you go. For cooking wine, I usually just pick up whatever's cheapest at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, this is, you know, a little over $10. So I mean,
Hey, there you go.
It's not the $2 chuck like Trader Joe's has, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is just pour enough water just to basically make it even. So what I'm gonna do is I put on the rice setting, which is 15 minutes. What I thought of when we decided to make this fish fumet,
Okay.
that it would go well with, you know, the fillet of the smoked bones, but we're also gonna serve it with some bok choy. And I'm gonna blanch and shock it in ice water, and then I'm gonna make this rice wine vinegar or some honey, some sesame seeds, kind of like a marinated bok choy. We're gonna serve it with the noodles, and then we're gonna pour this smoked fumet on top of it.
Sounds banging. So we've got some beautiful gray grouper. Gray grouper's real name is actually gag grouper. My dad actually caught this spear fishing.
Oh, wow.
So do you know what they call it when you spear a grouper?
I don't.
You gag on your shaft.
All right, let's see what this, wow, look at these. Beautiful, man. Wow.
This is from my family seafood market, Captain Clay and Sons. See those gorgeous iridescence in the meat? That is super fresh stuff caught right out here in South Florida.
Yeah, it's already smelling so good.
Oh man, it's like the room is filled with all these aromatics.
Yeah. What I thought would be nice, we do like a little coriander crust on the fish.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is gonna go right into here.
All right, 15 minutes is up. Now, may I?
You can. Watch.
And now the whole room gets filled with
Fumet vapor.
it literally smells like smoked fish and herbs in here right now.
Yeah, so once this pressure releases, then we'll be able to open right now. It's like actually like a safety mechanism, so.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, amazing. Oh yeah.
I'm so curious. I've never made a fish stock with smoked bones. I'm so interested.
I mean, for me, I think it just makes sense, right? I mean, like, who doesn't love miso soup, right? Have you ever made miso soup before?
I've never made it, but I've eaten plenty of it.
Okay, well, so like what you do is you start with water, and then they take shaved bonito flakes, and you know bonito, right? They swim all over here. What the Japanese do is they smoke the loins, and then they shave it very fine once it's all the way dry, like a jerky. So that's the flavoring agent in it. Let's take a look.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
There's the big reveal. Look at all that oil. Look at that. All those fat bubbles. That is just straight collagen in there.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just lift this out of here and we're just gonna pour this off.
Oh, that's terrifying.
A little hot. So, I mean, that's all.
God, that was so impressive.
That's all. That's really all we need for the dish. But you can see, I mean, look how beautiful that broth is, right? So right here, we're back to the grouper. I just have that coriander that we just, you know, ground up in the coffee grinder. I season all the sides here. Okay.
That's such a beautiful piece of fish.
I mean, seriously. All right, so we're gonna come over here. So we see how we have that light, you know, like little smoke coming off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually sear it on the cut side. So here we go. Or I'm gonna put a little bay leaf in there. I'm gonna take out the extra fat right here. Put it right here on the plate. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this beautiful fumet. This is almost gonna make like the pan sauce, so. So I'm gonna turn it really low. It's gonna take about 3 minutes to cook. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the finishing herbs. So what I'm gonna do is just cut up some basil. So basically I don't wanna, you know, these are so beautiful, these little like basil leaves. I'm not gonna really like mess with them too much, but just like a nice little, you know, they would call this like a chiffonade, but you like roll it up. But I kinda wanna just like keep it like just really nice and light, you know? And then let's just do 1 scallion. And let's check on the fish. So I'm gonna take this fish out. We're gonna turn this up a little bit. Put a little bit of this ginger and shallots in there. All right, I'm gonna add a little fumet to it. Put some of these noodles in here. Okay. We're gonna go over here and plate up the dish. So I'm gonna put the grouper here. I'm gonna take the buckwheat noodles. I'm gonna take the fish. I'm gonna plate it right here. Some of these marinated bok choy. Put right here. Do a little bit of the juice on the noodles right here. Fresh basil scallions all on top. Do some lime zest, a little lime juice. Wow, you smell that, Reed?
It smells phenomenal. That looks so good.
So yeah, nice. This is summer food, you know? Light, local. We're digging in?
We're digging in. All right.
All right,
I am absolutely stoked to try that. Wow, perfect cook on that grouper. Expected nothing less. Look at that noodle twirl you got going on. I am.
Wow. That grouper is amazing.
Dude, that's insane.
Really, really nice.
I've never tried anything like this in my entire life.
So good.
That is.
Yeah, super refreshing. You want to dive back in there for more?
100%. Chef, thank you so much for having us over, inviting us into your home, cooking for us. You guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a killer day. Later.